The lights are on, the curtain's up. This is Steps to the Stage.
Hello and welcome to Steps to the Stage, the community theater podcast where we talk to theater professionals you know and love. I'm Marley Lane, your guest host, and today for the next production, Little Shop of Horrors, we have 4 very special guests, and I'll have them introduce you now.
My name is Derek Ashley-Macumber. I'm playing Seymour Crowborn, and I'm also designing the costumes for the production as well.
Oh, hey, my name is Juan Luis Torres, and I will be directing Little Shop of Horrors, or I am directing, and set design and finger in everything.
Hi, I'm Mark Agers. I'll be playing Mr. Mushnik and hanging on tightly as we go.
My name is Adam Carl-Payton, and I am playing the dentist Orin next month.
Amazing. I'm very excited for this production. I love Little Shop of Horrors. So I would love to start out with, what's your first interaction with either a movie, the musical, anything? So we'll start over here. What's your first time you got introduced to Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, I kind of grew up a theater nerd, like probably everyone in this room. And my mom always took us to see shows, and for some reason, this was just the cult show everyone did in the 90s, I think. So I cannot count how many times I've seen interesting, good, and bad performances of this musical.
That's right.
But yeah, I just knew it growing up as a kid, and then obviously the movie was such a staple, and then so many revivals over the years on Broadway, even off Broadway now. It's just kind of cool to see the legacy continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the very first, but it was, I think, close to the first musical theater production I ever saw at a local community theater. It would have been in the 80s, I guess. Yeah. And it just, just a fun show, right? So immediately captures your interest, yeah.
For me, it was one of the first shows that wasn't Rodgers and Hammerstein, right? Like, I grew up with The Sound of Music, in Oklahoma, and then this show, when I saw it randomly on TV, I was like, what is this? The rock and the period. I just love everything about it, And of course, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, Rick Moranis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was just amazing. And of course, who plays Orin? The dentist.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Hello. How could I forget his name? Anyway, yeah, so good. And the music, it's just amazing.
Amazing.
The movie, of course, was my first
yes.
introduction to it, and I think I automatically gravitated to the storytelling, and then it was actually the first Broadway show that I saw with this original cast in New York, and so it's just always had a special place, and I've seen countless productions as well and different interpretations, and just always fell in love with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a soft spot in every theater kid's heart, right?
For sure.
It's like sort of Disney. There's like this sort of connection.
Totally.
So we're like,
Dark.
it's easy to grasp, but then also it's like cool and different.
Yeah.
So along the lines of all the beloved productions, there's lots of big names playing it off Broadway right now. How is, anyone can respond, how is your production kind of taking on such a beloved and special thing for theater people? And, sometimes that can be scary for theater people to be like, this is an iconic role by an iconic actor, or an iconic role even to direct this show. So kind of, how is your experience with that? Do you have like a vision to keep it the same, keep it different, anything along that sort of lines?
Yeah, so let's see. I'm just gonna say 5 years ago we were in the middle. Weren't you working with? I think
I was.
You were supposed to stage manage or something.
Yes. I know that 2020 season.
5 years ago. It's so crazy, COVID-19. But so going back to your question, we were originally going to make a puppet, and we were going to do all of that. This time around, 5 years later, we're renting puppets from MTI, which I'm very excited because I can't even imagine trying to put this show.
Yeah, that's always the big question at this show.
Gosh,
what are you going to do?
Right? And so it's cool because people are expecting something, so they're going to get the puppet.
Yes.
What's going to change is instead of the male traditional character, we have a female that's been cast.
Very cool.
Yeah, very soulful. So we're still going to get that element of just soulfulness and all of it that people expect, but with a twist, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I'm really excited about that. And other things, we're kind of the urchins are like in almost the whole show. They are nonstop.
They're never off stage.
Yeah. And so in our version, we are going to have them even more on stage. If
I
you
love
can
that,
even,
yeah.
so you're going to see them even more and a little bit different. I don't want to give it away, but
Yes,
we are
yeah.
definitely going to.
Some little special touches.
Yes, we are going to give them a little twist on the story and really hope the audience catches it. And it's like, oh, yeah, because, it's still sticking to what people expect.
Exactly.
But we want to give them a little something, something.
Always good, a little,
Yeah.
a little something, something extra. I love that.
Yeah.
Any from like an actor's point of view, costuming point of view.
I think we are definitely going darker too.
cool.
The show automatically has humor built into it, but I think like one of my favorite things with it is that the characters aren't playing it down or playing it too silly, that it's honest moments and honest storytelling, and that the way that events transpire is automatically funny in ways and
Yes.
also really dark and scary. And
Yes,
there's
yeah.
elements of these characters that I think we all relate to in some way or another, but it just grounds it more and makes it a little bit scarier, because I love that there's very few like horror musicals out there. We have Sweeney Todd and just a handful, really.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those that we can play with that as well. So for costuming, we're playing with color story a lot, and so we're keeping things more muted in the beginning, and then as things brighten up, you might notice a difference. And then there's also elements of like, to me, like green is envy and longing, and so we're playing a lot with that. And then also red as being that sinful color. So things start happening, and we start seeing a little bit more of that color story throughout.
I love that. Amazing. You have anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the dentist is such a well-known character,
Yes.
iconically comedic by Steve Martin and so many other people, and it is a musical comedy, but it's certainly rooted in a black and white film. Such a dark,
Yep.
original story. And so going in with that, I think myself, my character is a very complex person with a lot of complex issues that I think have come more to light in recent years, and certainly since all of this was just touched over. There's some darker themes and storylines and obviously personal situations, and we're addressing them as they're written because I think it's also special and important to voice those moments, which help progress the storyline and the character development within all of us. So like Derek said, I mean, we're really just living true to the text and performing it as these humans existed in their reality, and the humor and the uncomfortableness and all of that transpires from an audience standpoint is truly their vision of what we're living, not what we're performing.
Yes.
Right.
Amazing. Yeah, this is weird little things, horror, comedy. You got a little weird
yeah.
genre things that you have to like grasp. Yeah.
Alien plant.
We love it.
That's what's sort of fun about it, right? Is there's an absurdity to it all, and yet
Yes.
we're playing these parts that are just existing in that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the audience is just the fly on the wall laughing at us
Right.
all. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I feel like the audience with this show, they're like, we're in it.
Yeah.
There's crazy
yeah.
things happening, but like
Yeah.
I think lovable characters
Yeah.
really does that.
For sure.
So, also along the lines of your specific production, this is a big production on a very little stage, which is always a difficult thing to do, even acting-wise and on the production side. So, do you have any how is your process transforming it to fit in our specific 7th Street stage?
Well, interestingly enough, we're on day 2 on the stage.
Oh, so we're really figuring it out in the moment.
And it's crazy because you practice it, and we're like, oh, we've got this green room with all this space,
Yep.
And I've been making sure, I'm like, y'all do realize it's not going to be all this space, right? Once we get on stage, but also just building the set, the vision is there, and we're like, okay, this square is 1 by 1 foot. Well, there are flats that take up 3-4
your set,
inches, you know what I mean? And so then slowly now you lose 5 inches of space, and we're like, oh shoot, and all those 5 inches add up. And so in our space we're having to modify blocking, and then okay, well, bum number 2, why no number 2? Now you're not doing that because there's no room for you to come through with a trash cart or something, it's just interesting, and I think everybody's
Last night was fun.
Yeah, last night was
I had
fun.
time to sit in the audience, and if you're familiar with this theater, you know how intimate it is, and this is the perfect show for it. We're a small cast, but it's a small building as well, so it actually, I think, fits us so well. And Derek and I were sitting there, and we're like, can you picture this plant? It's just going to be like in your face.
Yeah.
Like these poor audience members are going to be in the shop with us. It's just thrusted so forward and into the audience. It's going to be a cool reality, I think, when it all comes together.
Yeah. And and so like you said, our stage is so small, and I don't want to just have. I always like the challenge. And I'm definitely not only challenging myself, I'm challenging my actor, the cast.
Yeah, it's a different type of act. I mean, it's not, but a little bit,
Yeah. And then the audience too, because to me, the stage and lighting and sound, they're also a character that puts together the show. Yes. So I definitely treat the set as another character in our production. Yeah. So I'm excited because I hope the audience is gonna be like, what? On this little stage?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. You can feel the excitement building. I hear a lot about the teenagers talking about it, so I'm very excited.
Cool.
Is there speaking of the set, is there anything like different, or you want to expand on it, or kind of like what was your process getting to like what's going to work for this stage and work for my vision?
Oh man, because I grew up performing on this stage, I understand the limitations, and because of who is helping master carpenter is Paul Larson.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, so he's just such an amazing, and we have so many people that I've been able to work with, and every single person, in the end, we end up deciding, okay, we can do this, or if we can't, there's always a solution, and we're always meet in the middle, and I love that.
Yeah, sometimes the friction creates more creativity.
Right. Yes. So yeah, I'm very excited. We're getting to do a lot of the initial vision of what we want for this show.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Is there anything else from an actor's perspective about your process, about like fun facts from rehearsal? How's it been going, really?
Yeah.
Would you like to spill your fun fact?
Sure, yeah. Well, my fun fact is this is my first show ever.
Amazing.
And I'll say at 54. So, it's been a long time coming. But so it's just been, I mean, for me, every minute is a joy. I don't know, they probably laugh at me because I'm having such a good time.
No way, man.
Never know. It's been amazing to see, first of all, how much goes into making it work, right? I mean, I think I always had a sense of that from the outside, but seeing it in person is amazing. And I havened shared this with these guys yet, but the very first night of rehearsals, I had an idea about what it would be like. And when I auditioned and got in, I thought, okay, good, I can do this, right? And then I sat down at that table and everybody started singing and doing their little parts, and I'm like, oh man, this is legit. Like, this is not, a little fun thing that I'm doing as a side note. Like, these folks have like legit skills, and it was, it was overwhelming in a very positive way. I was like, this is a great place, and everybody is super supportive, which is wonderful.
It's amazing. I've been sharing with people, we have our cast, and I'm like, y'all, our Mushnik first show. Not only is it your first show, but you jumped in and they're like, I'm going to do this and audition for a musical. I'm like, what? So not only are you having to learn the theater language, but you're also having to learn a book. You're having to learn music. You're having to learn choreography. I mean, whoa.
And killing it.
And killing it. Yeah. So
very impressive. Very honored.
I appreciate hearing that, truly, because I'm working hard and I want to make you all proud.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, already.
I was very excited when I saw your name.
Yeah.
And I was like, from the small part in Carrie.
Yeah, right. The voiceover. Yeah.
I was like, we're here and it's amazing. And I love it.
Well, I went home after audition and having gotten the call back, and I just told to my son Nico, who's in the children's theater, and I said, look, it's a win. Like, whatever happens from here on out, it's already a win. I got up and I tried.
That's awesome.
But it's just it keeps going.
Yeah.
And shout out to the girls who aren't sitting here with us. But I mean, this is a very small cast, and we're just a very small part of it. But the girls, I mean, incredible performers, incredible voices. It's just been really a fun process, and I just can't wait for you guys to see it.
I know. Auditions were hard. I'm not gonna lie. The urchins.
This is people's dream role.
Yeah, 100%. And and part of the process was like, okay, everybody wants to play Audrey. Everybody wants to play Seymour. Everybody wants to play Orin. Everybody wants to play Mushnik.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I got it. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
If I was the only one, that's fine.
So like, you have the people who made the callbacks, and then I'm like, all right, let's get in a room, and we're all gonna read. We're gonna put together groups and groups so that everybody can see why people were cast in the roles that were cast, because I don't want anyone to leave and be like, oh, it should have been me, and so it was really cool. I really enjoyed the audition process. Yeah, it was cool to have everybody there.
For these beloved roles. They are an interesting process, but then you get the best of the best usually.
That's right. But everybody did really well. It was such a joy to see a lot of the teens, come and audition for the urchins and for every role. Like, it was cool. So we've got Riley, who is part of the children's
we have
theater.
Some cool crossovers, some teens that are like adult age now. That, I mean, in between young adult.
Right.
So that is cool. They're very excited.
Yeah, it's
They're
been
very
amazing.
talented.
So
Being older now, I'm like, God, it comes so easy to them.
Yeah. And that's a hard part because I mentioned earlier, they're in the whole show. So
you got to work hard.
Yeah.
Get the endurance.
Yeah, exactly. And they're singing and dancing and crossing here and blah blah blah. But anyway, it's such a good show. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait either, guys. I'm so excited. Maybe see it like 3 times.
Please do.
Yes. I mean, we sort of started talking about it, but also it's obviously a musical. So like, how's the music been going? Dance, choreography. Any insights into that?
It's a lot for everybody to learn, and we have incredible Kristen and Kristen. Kristen.
Love that.
Yes, we have Kristen is our assistant director and choreographer, and then we also have Kristen Tucker, who we call Tucker, is our musical director, and so we all have a ton of music and lines and choreography to learn. So
big show.
It's a big piece to bite, but I mean, we've got a great team.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been
us.
amazing. It's a lot of material and very patient, and everybody too, because you learn your part, your blocking, but sometimes you're sitting down waiting for your turn, and so it's one of those things where you only have a cast of 8 plus our puppeteer and our Audrey II vocalist, so I mean that's 9, right? Yeah. Can't forget. But it's a lot of work. I think everybody's doing great. I think everyone's doing great. We got through like a third of the show last night in blocking, and
pretty good.
So we're going to try to get it done as much tonight, and hopefully the show will be blocked by the end of tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah,
in
that's
3
the
days.
glue, right?
That's the
So
glue.
we know the music, we know the dance, now we know
Yeah.
and so that's just part of the process.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part. And the scary part is because you're in the car driving home, you're like, what happened? Or is this gonna be okay? And then you get up the next morning and you're like, it's gonna be fine. But putting that glue together is what this is the fun time, I think.
Yeah,
and then we perform and it's like locked in our heads. But
It's so neat for me, being my first time. It's so neat to see it in pieces, kind of built,
Yes, the
right?
process,
Like
yeah.
thinking about the music and the lyrics and how to do that, and then now we're dancing with that. Oh, wait a minute, okay, like I'm not those don't go together yet, And then we're on the stage, and then we're changing it again, and so it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, and
Thank you, Marley.
everybody listening, go buy your tickets now. This is gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be the hit of the season. It's I feel the excitement brewing. I feel the creativity. So thank you so much for talking to me, everybody.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Marley.
Thanks for listening to Steps to the Stage, and now it's time for the curtain call.